Hi, I'm Angie Morgan with John Jones Real Estate. You're getting a behind-the-scenes look today of what it takes to build your dream home from concept to keys. I'm here with PJ McEllier and Josh Loy with Four Corners of Tennessee, two of our signature builders at Riverview Cove. We're going to dive into their creativity, craftsmanship, and care they put in every build. First of all, thanks guys for being here today.
Thanks, Angie.
First, let's get to know the team and the why behind the business. What inspired you guys to start Four Corners?
Four Corners started in 2017. PJ had been in banking and real estate and home building on his own prior to, and I had been working for a national home builder and kind of dreaming of something with a little bit more flexibility, creativity to that. PJ and I became friends and realized we were gifted in different ways and it might be a good partnership. And so we started Four Corners. We've been in business for about 8 years. And have really been thrilled over the last couple of years to be involved in Riverview. It's been a really different project for us, really different than most things in town. But we got to, it's been like the ultimate ability to be creative because Riverview's different in that every house is one of one. And that, I think, is really something that sets it apart from a lot of other projects we've done.
Now let's talk about what it's like to build with Four Corners. Walk us through your home building process.
So we want to make the home building process simple. We've seen many times where it's overcomplicated. We want it to be home buying to be simplified to the point where it's find your lot, find your plan, make your selections, and let's start building. We don't want people to get bogged down and feel like they have to go out to every vendor in town, spend many hours searching it. As you see at our showroom, most of the selections, even in Riverview, we can probably still make most of them here in our showroom, especially on that respect side, that we can design beautiful homes right here, one-stop shop. But we want it to be simple. We don't want this to be a full-time job for people. That's our job, to build the house. Part of the process is once you know your lot, once you know your house plan, which a lot of times in Riverview specifically, a lot of times people want to bring their own house plans, which becomes challenging. They want lots or houses that don't fit the lot, or sometimes they don't fit the budget. So we've simplified that to 7 or 8 house plans that they're already priced out. We have a selection sheet that is already transparently priced, so somebody can come in. Probably 90% of the things that they want in a home is going to be right there in front of them, just like building a car. Here's your house. Here's all the options you're going to put in it. Then if there's a few things that are specific to them, we'll special price them. We'll take a look at it. But our whole goal is to make sure that they know what they're getting, what they're paying, and then let us go do our job.
All right, Josh, how do you help homeowners bring their vision to life?
I think it starts with really sitting down, spending some time with them, meeting them, understanding what's important. Because for most people, there's going to be a give and take. The way that we have structured it, we will know the price at the beginning of the project, and the price will stay the price unless the client chooses to upgrade, add to, change selections that would increase the price. But the back-end price is not going to be unknown. You're not going to have that level of fear of what if this happens. We've worked to price the plans. Can you fully imagine your 3-dimensional house on a 2-dimensional piece of paper? Mm-hmm. No. But we can at least know what that number is going to be once we get there.
What are our current trends in building right now?
Well, so kind of 2 thoughts of that. So we talk about floor plan trends. What we're starting to see is obviously a lot more people wanting to work from home. So an office is important. Not necessarily just a second bedroom that's converted to an office, but trying to make a unique office space, people working from the house. Trying to set up houses so that way, as everyone's aging a little bit, having to take care of some parents that might have to move in with them later. We specifically designed a couple house plans for Riverview and even some other neighborhoods that some of them have 2 primary suites, one upstairs, one downstairs, so that way that aging parent isn't shoved in a 12 by 12 bedroom and trying to maneuver a wall to get to a bathroom, but a true private space for them. Then in Riverview, what's unique is we're able to take a couple house plans and put a true apartment above garages as an option for people who need that. So from floor plan layout and outdoor living spaces are still important to people. But the design side's been super fun because houses have actually got a little bit less little less trim based.
Mm-hmm.
Gosh, I was just talking about this the other day. Houses that built 20, 25 years ago were loaded down with trim. We're going a much more simplistic look, a little bit less crown. But I love that wallpaper's coming back.
Mm-hmm.
It works great in certain areas. Little pass-throughs from hallways to kitchens, powder bathrooms, just little accents of it's been great. Still seeing some great warm wood tones coming back, getting rid of just the natural white oak, but just a little bit of it having a darker stain to it. Wood grains have been super nice to come back for them. And then really starting to see people utilize a lot more of the house itself. Just dog doors. I want to open up every attic space for storage. Storage is huge. So all of our plans, we've made sure that they have a lot of storage in them. They won't walk in pantries. We make sure that they have that. Bigger laundry rooms, bigger primary closets. But to get all that into a house, it's been tricky. It's been fun to figure that out. And the design sides, I'm excited to see where things go in the next couple of years.
I need you to think back about one project that really pushed your creativity.
So it's really the most recent one we finished up out in Riverview. Custom client, everything was very specific. House had a ton of arches, which arches and millwork, unfortunately, they don't make a lot of just rounded wood. So we're getting real creative of how to do pocket doors, custom trim. But they had this little hallway that was the most unique thing we ended up doing. Was they had a custom cabinet, but something felt wrong when we were actually building it. That I pulled the homeowner in, talked to him about their original design, wanted this kind of flat arch, but we ended up doing this custom white oak barrel ceiling with tile on the ceiling to tie into their custom cabinet that made it look like an old French house. It was exactly what the homeowner wanted. It was the hardest thing we have ever had to figure out, but it was the most fun.
All right, Mr. Josh, what is the most rewarding part of your job?
There's kind of two layers to it. The first is it's really fun to drive around communities, especially ones you have built out of that you may no longer be in. You might be back in there for service or just to be riding through, and to just kind of drive by and watch, houses that you built become homes for families. See people playing in the yard or mowing or whatever it is, and it's a family and a life going on in this thing that we spent a lot of time in for 6 months, and now it's a family's. But there is another layer to the whole business. If we work with a lot of people, and they're people that homeowners are probably never going to know, the guys who hung the drywall or installed the trim in their house, but they're guys that we work with all the time. And so there's this big team that's happening that really the homeowner doesn't ever get to really know those folks, but we work with them all the time. And there's something really great about that.
Before we wrap up, let's hear from your heart. What's one of your favorite projects?
Specifically in Riverview Cove, it's so hard to pick just a favorite because so many houses all had little things in them that were super fun to do, creative, challenging, pushed us as a company to learn and grow. So the whole neighborhood as a whole has been super fun. We've had every house looks so different. Every client's been a little bit different, from family status to just moving here. Some have been here for years. It's just been an overall enjoyable project. We're looking forward to phase 2. We've got some great house plans coming up that we're really excited about. And the best thing is we've never built them. So while that's scary, our experience in the first phase has really helped us know what needs to go into these homes. Bathrooms, larger bathrooms, kitchens, a little bit higher end finishes. The market has told us what they want, and now we're just really excited to deliver to them.
Thank you for giving us a peek into your world. And if you're thinking about building a dream home, feel free to give us a call.